Welcome back to another edition of Strategic Command World at War, where I'm playing the Western Allies. And it's been pretty exciting. Port Moresby came very close to falling into Japanese hands, which would have really been a disaster. Well, not a war-winning move, but I think it would have set me back quite a ways. It would have taken extra turns to capture it. But just in the nick of time, I was able to put in an Australian unit and some United States Marine to counterattack. And I shuffled some air units over there, and I was able to rout the Japanese. And there's just one unit left, but it's out of supply, so I should be able to destroy it and relieve Port Moresby. And that, ruins any chances of the Japanese attempting an invasion of Australia. But I'm keeping air units here. I'm watching out for the Japanese, and then I'm going to bring Marines to eventually launch an invasion of Guadalcanal. And I do have some Marines over here. So I'm going to upgrade this. Let's see. All right, I don't need mobility, so I can't do that. This armor unit, it doesn't get any supplies if I land them, so I'm pretty much just going to use mostly special force units. I'll find a job for this one later on. In the meantime, I do have a couple Marine units that need to sail down towards anywhere here, so I can launch all these three towards Guadalcanal eventually, while finishing routing the units in Port Moresby. Hopefully I can transfer my air units here, so if any Japanese shipping comes by, I'll be able to hopefully have air superiority where I can sink them if the Japanese fleet decides to launch another attack here. In the meantime, the Battle of Midway didn't go as well as I wanted it to, but I did manage to sink two carriers and did lose one. Came very close to losing three. And that would have been really bad, but I have time to replenish, regroup, and then decide where to strike next. I'm going to eventually capture every single island, but I'm going to have to research some technologies, but still my priority is Europe. That's still number one for the United States. Eichelberger. This is an army unit. I'm going to be using mostly Marines, but let's see. I'm going to keep one army unit here just to the Pacific, but anything else that I build in this one too. But anything else that I build is going to be going towards... Okay, these don't need mobility. They just need infantry weapons. What am I going to do here in the east? Okay, these guys are going to require mobility, but I'm going to look at more research that the United States can do. I'm going to have to build some armor, long-range aircraft. That's going to be important. Naval weaponry, not so. Advanced fighters, well, advanced tanks. I still got to get armored warfare first. Industry, that's growing too. Mobility, I do have that at least. I did invest in anti-submarine warfare. That's going to be very important, especially for the Battle of the Atlantic. The United States is really bad at it, so I'm going to have to... Just want to make sure I don't have any extra chits that I don't need. Advanced tanks, that's going to be important too. Advanced fighters. But I think I need to purchase first. And I need to purchase some armor units. Maybe just one for now. I'm down to 204, so I can just do one unit a turn. And then I'm going to have to spend everything else on upgrades and movements. All right, the Marines are going to be moving down towards these islands where they can prepare an attack on Guadalcanal. Amphibious invasion technology is pretty good. Maritime bombers, of course, are also good to build. So I'm going to have to save. I'm not going to purchase anything right now. In the meantime, I need to get ready for Operation Torch. Possibly next turn. Just in case the Italian fleet decides to venture out. All right, this French unit is just going to land once Algeria surrenders, so I'm going to keep it there. And how many more units do I have? I plan sending 2 to Algiers, and then another 2 to Tunis. I'll hopefully be able to land and capture them. This guy can follow right here. Oh, this is the British transport, yes. Okay, I forgot all about that. Yeah, the British transport needs to be careful. No Italians in right now. Malta is good. And then next turn will go to Alexandria. I don't think it can make it, no. Needs to stay there. Bait, just in case the Italians want to come out and fight. Okay, the American carrier can provide some air support. So we got the Torch and the French unit can come right over here. Probably land in Mers el Kebir somewhere once Algeria surrenders. And so I got the invasion force ready to land in North Africa and then hopefully catch Tripoli by surprise from the behind here. I have a cruiser here. I can also assist. Okay, all these units here are pretty much useless. Let's get these destroyers here. They have a little better technology. Naval weaponry. Let's upgrade these bombers. Just in case we see something. Is there anything? Yeah, light cruisers. They're good. Naval weaponry, that's not that important. Anti-submarine is more important for the destroyers. Light cruiser. Not much experience, but I'm going to use that up. Really can't send any units over. They're going to have to, I'm going to have to build more. So I got one army, just every turn I'm going to build units so I can get an army that in a couple of years can invade Europe. It's going to take a while. And I have to build air units. There's a lot I got to do with the United States. They are really far behind. Okay, I had no... Can bring this one back for repairs just in case. Battleships. I got a feeling possibly some German capital ships may come out and attack destroyers, so keep them here. I know their submarines can base in Saint Nazaire and Bordeaux. Eventually I'm going to have a look out there too. Let's get these battleships. Britain has 417, so let's get these destroyers ready. Let's see if there's a U-boat here. There it is. Lucky. Well, let's upgrade this destroyer. Anti-submarine warfare. I think it's okay to bring a cruiser here. It's got anti-submarine capabilities just in case. Destroyer. I'll have 2 destroyers up in the North Sea. 3 destroyers in the North Sea. I think 2's enough. I don't want to send them. Send one to Portsmouth, and that one needs to go out in the Atlantic too, just to. Plus, we can get a lot of German subs that are returning to Vigo or to Bordeaux, Saint Nazaire for refueling. So I do want him here. Plus, I want about 2 of them and some cruisers up here. Light cruiser destroyer, that should be enough. 3 in the North Sea. And the American, well, what are you gonna do? I really don't know. But Britain needs to purchase an army. And now it really has very little left, but I need to start purchasing some units. And in North Africa, wow. Let's go to North Africa now. Yeah. Just retreat. There goes an air unit. Weaken an artillery unit. See if I can assault Marsamatru. And let's do some serious bombing. Not going too well. Alright, Marsamatru is under siege. And I think these guys are going to be cut off. I'm going to move this one up to Alexandria. I do have another armor unit coming. So there goes an air unit been destroyed. Now this is an Australian unit. And next turn it's going... I'm only going to have British units here. This one really needs to return to Australia and fight the Japanese. It's already done this job. And I don't know. I think those units near Siwa are in big trouble right now. Very little supply, that Italian army unit. There can't be anything. I think I'm going to move back so I'm closer to the supplies here. Yeah, these guys are... Once Mezamatru's been taken, I think I can have better supplies. I don't see these Axis units. They took the Siwa Oasis, but they're trapped there. And I'm already pushing forward, so... And I got another armor unit on its way. And I said I was going to purchase with the Indian army. So that doesn't leave much for the Indian army, but I have to purchase some units. And I do have enough for infantry weapons. I made sure of that. See, that was a mistake retreating, because now I can upgrade to infantry weapons. I do need to replenish the fighters. Put the fighters to Calcutta. Keep that headquarters over here. And I do have a little army now that can launch an attack, possibly. If I can cover the flank up here. Myitkyina. That will have to be taken too, but maybe I'll march my special force unit down and take Myitkyina. But I'm going to have to build up more units and start attacking. Now, this one here, if I can get at headquarters, that would be great. But I think I've defended India. I don't think the Japanese, unless they have an overwhelming amount of units, but I don't think they're going to be able to take anything. And Britain's down to 27, so... Once I have enough supply money, I'm going to start shipping these towards India also. Australians, the South Africans, so they're going to start attacking in this direction. So I'm down to... The United States can still spend some money, but Britain... So have I done everything I can for Britain? Canadians. Well, the hunt for U-boats is going on. I got a Canadian unit here. It's going to be a long ways off before we even think of about assaulting Europe. Mediterranean is the top priority right now. And let's take a look at Australia. Can reinforce a little bit. There is a destroyer here just in case. Japanese submarine. I can... This one does need to be upgraded too. To check in that next turn. I'm going to leave the Australian. The Australian Army really can't do much at this point. Maybe that one other Australian unit can join, and then I'll have a little annoying force. But let's get everything concentrated. Won't hurt to put the destroyer in here and get everything up to proper strength. Okay, I don't think he can replenish on this one. It has to be replenished in Pearl Harbor. So I'm going to have to fix up the carriers. And okay, this is all done. This is about everything I can do in the Pacific. I've done everything I wanted to do in Africa. Now that's not going to do much right now. I'll just keep on besieging Marzamatru. And another armor is going to come by, so I'm going to be able to advance and possibly cut off these units into Siwa Oasis. And just push them, conquer Libya. Torch landings will be the next turn. I can't wait, that's going to be exciting. But in the meantime, I'm going to have to watch the Allies. Okay, so let's see what the United States still has 204. What can I purchase? Paratroops. You know what? I'm going to have to get paratroopers. I'm going to have to go tank fighters. I'm going to save that money till next turn so I can build 2 units. Yeah, I'm going to be able to build 2 units next turn, so I'm going to save that money. And we'll see how the torch operation goes. I always got to zoom out here because that's the only way I can see if I missed anything. MacArthur is down there. Port Moresby, I think I got everything. Okay, this destroyer here that was damaged. Okay, let's put this American one over here. Just in case the U-boat tries to retreat, it may walk into something. This one needs to replenish itself in the British port. And there goes the Battle of the Atlantic. Hunting U-boats, the Mediterranean, the combined fleet. And then I'm going to be able to send the destroyers to keep on hunting subs. And I'm going to be sending possibly once the Mediterranean is taken care of and the Italian fleet is destroyed or surrendered, I'm going to start moving some British units towards Japan, towards the Pacific, because that's really what a naval battle is at. That's what a capital ships are necessary. And let's see, well, Battle of Midway, kind of a draw, but the Japanese got the island, but they failed in Port Moresby. That was critical, so I guess I've done everything I can. I'm going to save money for the United States. Britain is so now it's up to our weaker allies, the Soviets and the Chinese. Don't know. Hope they don't get destroyed. Well, they're going to send help. Why isn't this unit moving out of range? Well, a German unit has been defeated. Wow. Oh, 2 units. Go, Russia. Teach those Fritzes a lesson. The Fritzes will not take the motherland. The Chinese are terrible. Oh no. That armor just got depleted. Oh, they're at war, but they're now the Communist Party has an activity. All right, now come the Axis, the invincible Axis forces. They're just gonna. I don't think Leningrad is completely surrounded anymore, but oh, shoo! Oh, here they come! Wow, they're brave. Oh, the whole Italian fleet is challenging me. Oh no. I'm going to have to bring in the other ships from the other flank. I didn't want to move them up, but well, I'm going to bring those in Egypt and hopefully catch them in a pincer movement. Riask must resist. Now, the Germans do have supply problems being that far away from Germany. Oh, Fuchao's fallen. The Chinese couldn't keep the resistance. Now it's going to release a bunch of Japanese forces to attack inland. This is terrible. The Chinese are just. Losses are terrible for the Soviets and the Chinese ground units. And the Finns are fanatical in these games here. I mean, in reality, they weren't. But in these games, you have to really defeat them. Oh, that's not good. Thing is, the Soviets going to have to destroy some more German units. There goes another Soviet Union, and they're approaching Stalingrad. But the Kronstadt units up here in the north, right there, they're holding off, tying up a lot of German units. I don't want to lose it. China can't afford to. Yeah, that unit is out of supply. I'm gonna bomb it. There goes another Soviet unit. They're getting very close to Moscow. And I haven't checked. I don't know what the Soviets are researching, but they're going to have to get the armor so they can get 2 shots. Yeah, here comes more Axis units. Well, the French battleship did its job in drawing in the Italians. Yeah, that one's out of supply. I'm going to destroy it this turn. All right. Well, rain, that's good. Soviets can replenish their air units and counterattack. At least Moscow hasn't fallen yet, and it's already getting November. So what I'm going to do is, first thing, let's do some artillery. Oh, there's some interceptors there, okay. All right, Mirza Matru's been taken. All right, there's an Italian unit in Tobruk. All right, hit that artillery unit. Get that headquarters unit out forward here. Might as well get a shot while I'm moving towards the Action with a battlers. Okay, this German air unit is very, very weak. Let's move the submarine this way. All right, another armor unit has landed. Next turn it can start moving. This Australian unit can start moving towards El Alamein. Towards the Gulf of Aqaba to head back. Since I'm only going to be using British units. Submarine. And didn't get that lucky. All right, let's bring the fleet over here. And there's the all right, shattered the German Luftwaffe unit. Let's get out here in the rain. So this part of the Mediterranean fleet is moving. I don't know what I can do with the artillery unit. I want to move the armor forward. I'm going to have to besiege Tobruk. But at least some units are trapped here. I'm going to have to bring this one back up. Bring this one to Alexandria. And I think we're well into our way into Libya. And now, let's see what I can do over here. Bring some more units. I don't have any destroyers, but American battleship. And now let's do the diplomacy. Algeria, declare war. Tunis, declare war. Oh well, too bad. And what do I do here? Oh no. Okay. Oh, come on. This is stupid. What did I just do? Ah, that was stupid. I need to. It's raining. I can't use my carrier. Maybe the French battleship can get them. Excellent. I don't know what it's going to do. It may sink in the process, but all right. Tunis has been captured. Good. And now I'm going to attack Algiers. Good. We'll go to Mers El Kabir. Okay. Let's link up here. All right, all these units. So Operation Torch has been a success. And unfortunately, British battleship and the French battleship are going to have to go into port to replenish. The aircraft carrier, I think for now, okay, I am bringing some more ships in, so I'm going to have to move the aircraft carrier back a little bit. I don't want to get it exposed. This was going to have to go back to Gibraltar. And let's leave the transport here. The transport can reinforce next turn. It can land somewhere. The American fleet can get out of the way. So the torch landings have been a success. And I'm bringing in more British units. Did sink an Italian battleship, but did suffer a little damage. And there is a German U-boat out there too, so. But I captured Tunis and Algiers, so those two Vichy principalities should be falling. And that was a nice little offensive I did over here in Egypt. And let's see, no sign of any German subs. So I'm going to have to keep on reinforcing and replenishing. Well, this was, I'm surprised. I didn't think the Italians were just going to come out and fight, but they did. I think the AI has been improved. I think I played this, experimented around with this type of scenario earlier, and it didn't, especially with Port Moresby. But here, man, the Italian fleet is coming out. But I got reinforcements coming. Just need a little good weather where my carriers can sink those ships. But, ow, that was bad. American unit got hit by Italian battleship. Maybe next turn a French unit can land in Iran. So this leaves, well, it looks like the Seaway Oasis is going to be cut off. Okay, Germans lost a bomber and a fighter, so I think there's only an Italian fighter, maybe a bomber still left. But I'm putting pressure, and I got another army unit. So I'm going to be putting pressure on North Africa, and then maybe if I can destroy some more Italian ships and destroy the fleet, it'll reduce the morale so that when I land in Sicily and get a unit in Italy will surrender. I know they have units on the Russian front and units in Greece, and if that falls, there could be some partisan activity. All right, now as far as India only has 100. I do need to reinforce the fighters. There's just no... I'm going to see if I can capture Myitkyina, maybe Lashio, just sneak in with the special forces, but... Terrain is terrible. It's really awful. And mobility is nil too. I'm going to have to get some mobility. I just can't see, I cannot make any headway right now. I can just hold. There, I'm going to have to bring some more units. And now, let's continue with the Marines. Not run into any Japanese, stray Japanese units. Let's start bombing this unit. Encourage some aerial warfare. Let's hit him again. Just can't make it. That's okay. All right, there the entire Port Moresby force, invasion force has been destroyed. And the battle is over. I'm just going to have to replenish these ports. Upgrade these a little bit. And I don't know what to do. All right, this here. Max out the carrier. Upgrade the fighters. And then I can replenish them. This is all going to take some time. Battleship. Once that submarine is ready, I can scout again. I'm going to purchase for the United States. Purchase an army. Let's see what I have right now. I have a tank and an army. Let's purchase another army. Let's purchase some. Let's see how much I have left. 404. Tactical bombers. It's also expensive. I got 104 left. I'm not going to transport anybody. I'm going to have to purchase some paratroopers. I don't know. I'm going to have to purchase all kinds of stuff. It's just not that much money left. Great Britain. Let's just upgrade infantry weapons for now. Mobility is not that critical here in Europe. I don't think so to spend any money on it right now, but maybe later. Let's replenish the destroyers. Make sure the anti-submarine warfare. And where are... I know we just have to stay out here and just keep a lookout. Because they are probably heading towards Saint Nazaire, so I'm going to kind of keep a blockade here. Keep one over here. So just in case a submarine comes, I can just gang up on it. It's a good place for the destroyers. And keep a battleship in reserve just in case there's some capital ships out there. I think it'd be good to keep them in the St. George's Channel. I don't know if the Germans got some battleships here in France. But I'm keeping a force up here in the North Sea just in case something comes out to try to hit my destroyers. And then I'm also going to keep a force. It's kind of like a blockade here. Bomber command. What I'm going to purchase for Britain. Purchase some paratroopers. And pretty much once again short of money. Kind of a dull turn. There's really not much going on except I completely relieved Port Moresby. Anti-submarine warfare, so Darwin. And next turn, I'm going to have to transport this Indian unit. This Indian unit's going to go to India. So I am defending India right now, but I need to launch an offensive. So, once again, I'm out of money. So it's time to watch the Russians and then the Axis turn on November 5th. So here we go. Boy, one nuisance sub here. And what are the Russians going to do? I mean, they're... Why? I mean, this doesn't make sense. All right, there's a German cruiser up there. Why isn't this unit leaving right adjacent to? Now I got full strength panzers. Some of the tactics are really poor. Well, if that panzer unit gets destroyed, okay. I don't know how they can attack. Okay, he did move. Okay, attack and move. It's not enough to destroy that panzer unit of 4 in front of Moscow? I guess not. Algeria surrenders, yes. More income for the USA. Tunisia surrenders. No. Okay, infantry weapons. All right, that's good. United States needs infantry weapons. UK and miners. USA. USSR 642. May not be enough for the Russians. They need to start launching a counterattack. They can't just be on the defensive the whole time. All right, the whole New Guinea has been liberated. Guess I can start now looking into Guadalcanal. Yeah, that's not looking good for that force down here. Well, they're scared to launch a Moscow offensive? Great. Soviet Navy. It's not safe now for the Italians to venture out because I got ports in Algeria. Battle of Stalingrad is going to commence. have to try to hit that headquarter unit in Burma, because destroying headquarters is really good. This another. There goes Morozovsk and Stalingrad at the gates. Enemy at the gates. Now the siege of Veliki Luki. There goes another Chinese unit. Great. If they take that Icheng Pak in the center, they can push right towards Chongqing. That's what I was afraid of, more Russian units. The Germans have so many units in Soviet Russia. I wouldn't be surprised if they pinched out this Leningrad pocket. Yeah, now they're approaching the Caucasus. Indian Army's going to have to research mobility. It's the only way I can make progress through this jungle. Well, I didn't lose any ships in the Mediterranean, so I just wonder how the Germans are going to react to the fall of Vichy. Algeria. Malta hinders good. U.S. troops land in North Africa. Okay, I have a shot here. Okay, U.S. Army. Let's put you, yeah, Portland next to a port. I'm going to have to build some more headquarters. Eisenhower only got one. That's going to have to be built too. And let's take a look at how many units have been lost. All right, let's see. The Vichy is 79 axes. They're upset. But Germany didn't take Vichy because usually a lot of times when North Africa falls, Germany annexes Vichy. So this French unit could go into Oran. And did I see an Italian ship somewhere? Well, that part's been taken, so I got a base in North Africa and Britain here. All right, let's do a check here. Reports 108, 60. Wow, the German and Japanese have a lot of land forces. Russians, wow, this is a lot. This is really quite a bit. And the losses, Russia 28. Germans lost 11. Well, Japanese did lose 2 carriers and the 2 special forces attacking Port Moresby, so I'm doing all right. United States lost 3, Britain lost 3. Not doing too bad, but it's just I'm worried about the Soviet Union and China, of course. If they collapse, it's going to be almost impossible to win this war. But I'm going to continue my offensive here. This unit has to get closer to supplies. I'm going to use them for something else. The Australian unit is heading back. Okay, destroyed the artillery. Hit that Italian headquarters, so now these units are I built this one up. And the siege of Tobruk will begin while I completely rout these units. Let's bring that headquarters up to the south of me in the Siwa Oasis. Alright, so the counterattack in North Africa is continuing. And I think this is a good time to leave this series. I'm going to be approaching Tripoli with the Americans. And that should clear North Africa pretty soon. So that battle should be over. So all in all, this is not very easy. It is a tough war. The Italians are fighting back aggressively. The Germans are giving the Soviets a pounding, as well as the Japanese are giving the Chinese a pounding. And so it's all up to me to try to, create points of relief. If I can knock Italy out of the war, that will take some Axis units from the Russian front. But we'll see how that develops. So until next time, thank you for watching.